Social attacks will surprise us because they will happen where and when we least expect them, right?
Absolutely.
Now, who would think that a useless printed paper or an old formatted hard drive is worth something to someone? Guess what?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, hackers will search through your garbage to find anything that can give them information. Printed papers are not useless. They almost always contain some kind of data, right? And even if it's just an email address, it's something they can use. So everything matters to hackers. Also, hard drives do not lose data after being formatted. Remember that. There are applications that specialize on wiping hard drives completely. Otherwise, you should just physically destroy the hard drive if you really don't want to use it anymore.
Absolutely. If you feel that you're trusting someone too much, or even if you think you're doing everything right, you might be a victim of social engineering.
Yeah.
A malicious user or hacker can stand behind you pretending to be doing something or something other than what he or she may really be doing while he's actually looking at your screen or your keyboard to get your password. Or he might be listening to your conversation with your colleague, waiting for you to reveal that tiny bit of information that's going to give him a leg up. Piggybacking is always an effective technique for social engineers, and it's been done in even the most physically secure environments. If a hacker can pass a security check, then he's trusted. He'll pretend to make a phone call, then ask someone to let him into a certain floor or room because he's forgotten his electronic card. About 90% of people will help the hacker and make a joke that it happens to them all the time.
It's scary.
A hacker could also enter their destination unnoticed by following an employee through a door.
Yeah, and I think we've all seen it, right?
Absolutely.
It happens all the time. We're just polite by nature. So system administrators, despite their knowledge, could also be the victims of such an attack. When recruiting, system administrators reveal valuable information about their network environment, which obviously can be very helpful to hackers. Monitoring system administrator moves is very likely to reveal valuable information.
You know, a lot of employees spend most of their time talking about work. We talk about work at work, we talk about work at home. Even when they meet with friends, this habit can result in revealing information about projects that hackers can later use to their advantage.
Right, and we do it without even thinking, right? Social engineers are usually smart, but you can identify them if you do just a few smart things yourself. Social engineers depend on lies as much as possible, but they cannot give the right answer to all questions, right? So what does that mean? Especially if you're asking more questions than they would expect. So here are some different ways you can attempt to identify a social engineer.
First, ask for their name more than once and how to spell it. The hacker might forget it or could spell it incorrectly. Ask for a phone number and say that you'll call them back. Ask a lot of different forms of identification, including full name, date of birth, phone number, and social security number. You could even also ask a security question if you have one. Now, you should suspect someone if they get angry about all the information required.
Yeah.
If they claim to have authority and refuse to answer your questions, and if they request information or changes without a written email.
Right. I mean, if you're asking me those questions, I'm happy you're asking me if I'm really who I am, right? It means
Absolutely.
It means you're protecting my security.
Well, and if they're who they say they are, the policy should stay that that's how it's going to go.
Right.
They know they're going to be asked those questions.
Yeah.